we got a lot going on in this new video. No, I'm just joking. It's the same old stuff. Um, we got some overhead press. We got some lateral raises, as always. Subbed in some dumbbell jam press for the push downs I was doing. Not for any particular reason, just push downs kind of got stale. Doing them for a while, so just wanted to switch over to a dumbbell jam press. Also, I'm kind of getting back in the swing of some powerlifting type stuff. So, what screams powerlifting more than Jay and Blakely? So, that's where we're getting back to. Lateral raises, as always. Here are the dumbbell jam presses. This is a slept-on movement, in my opinion. Um, a lot of people love the jam press with the barbell, as do I, but I really like them with the dumbbell. You can get a bit deeper with them. Just really see a lot of transfer from this over into my actual bench pressing. So this is one that I like to leave in, especially from a bench press standpoint, not only from a tricep growth standpoint, but obviously from the performance of the bench press as well. So right now, trying to find movements, prioritize exercises that I enjoy doing, but B, are going to transfer over well, both from a physique standpoint and then for a powerlifting standpoint. As I talked about before, I'm not expecting, it's November. Both competitions are in May. I'm not expecting to, win either one, but it's a good challenge to try and do both. And that's just kind of really where we're at, just doing different challenges and things like that, help guide the training. One thing I'm also trying to add back in is some rear delt work, which I haven't done in a really long time. I kind of not stayed away from it, but didn't prioritize upper back work. It was very much kept at a minimal or maintenance level. So just trying to add that back in, trying to round out the shoulders, make those look as pleasing as possible to the judges. And, obviously bigger shoulders help with everything, injury prevention, performance, all that good stuff. So adding that back in. I was watching some old John Meadows videos, and he was coaching up these rear delt flies, and it just made me want to put them back in. So that's where we're at with that. I don't think there has to be a huge rhyme or reason, but that is my justification as far as why I'm putting those back in. What do we got coming up after these rear delt flies? Overhead press. The single here was 165. This was on November 11th. I'm doing this voiceover on November 18th, so it's actually gone up since then. Here's some back down sets. These back down sets were at 135 for sets of 5. I did 3 sets of 5 and then 1 set of 3. That's kind of how I'm getting into this mode of doing these back down sets, like I said in the last video, kind of like RTS Mike Tashir style, where I'm letting the auto regulation guide it in terms of my overall fatigue. Again, we're not afraid of the fatigue demon hiding underneath the squat racks, but instead of just getting in a bunch of junk volume, as soon as performance starts to drop off at a certain point, I'll cut it. It could be it drops off by 1 rep. It could be it drops off by 2 reps. Maybe I'll give it a chance. Maybe my rest period wasn't long enough. So, I did 3 sets of 5 and then 1 set of 3. So maybe that set of 3 was because my rest period wasn't long enough. So I might even do another set. It's really kind of up in the air. Like I said, I don't have a lot of structure to the programming right now. I have a template that I go off of, and then I'm kind of mixing and matching things to see what feels good at that point in time. Part of the problem that I see personally after, I've been coaching for 17 years, I've been training, I'm 38, been training since I'm 15. Part of the problem that I see is as people get older, that's why I call this dad training, is people are very, very fixated on following a strict progression, which that's totally makes sense. Like that's how you get better at things. However, given, I'm, like I said, I'm 38, almost 39. I have 2 kids. I got 2 jobs. There's just a lot going on. So I don't know. There's some people that can definitely follow a strict progression, even with those stressors and things like that. Like I'm not one of them. Like on any given day, I'll feel drastically better or drastically worse. So having a template to go off of definitely suits me better as opposed to a strict program, because with a strict program, if you're not able to hit the numbers or the RPEs or whatever that you want to hit that day, that can definitely be a little demoralizing. So this way, I really don't have bad days. And that's really what I'm about right now in terms of training, is consistently good sessions, high effort, training each muscle group twice a week, like just these non-negotiable things, or these things that we know work. and just relying on those and just letting the training do the work and letting the chips fall where they may, as I said in the last video. Here we are with some machine rows, trying to prioritize lats in that machine row. That's why you see that kind of shortened range of motion. We got floor press. Floor press is one of those exercises that has a really, really big transfer over to my bench press. I have a terrible top end. If I ever am able to put up videos of all of my powerlifting meets, like this is about where I get stuck. And I know some people have different varying thoughts on whether you can train sticking points or not. Floor press for me is always harder than a regular bench press. So for me, it's one of those things where it's like, yeah, this is probably an exercise that I need to over index on and try and get up. So switch my grip to an underhand grip from a neutral grip. I really like this from a lat perspective, plus this kind of shortened range of motion, a la Yates style, that really fires up my lats more so than a lot of different exercises. So, just prioritizing things that feel good, stimulate the muscle that I'm trying to stimulate, and then get me stronger all at the same time. These floor presses actually felt pretty good. This is 225 for 3 sets of 5. Again, nothing to write home about, but again, it's just it's kind of like a hang clean to a power clean. I'm sorry, like a hang clean from a full clean. The weight just drops off for me from a regular bench press to a floor press. Some people it increases. For me, it just drops off. So kind of the same thing with a full clean to a hang clean. That weight just drops off. On this day, I ended up doing. It was supposed to be a sprint day, and I did some sprint work, but it wasn't full out or anything like that. So I did a lot of warm up stuff. So here's all that warm up stuff. Nothing too crazy with that. Same warm up stuff I've been doing, and here are the sprints. These are not all out by any means. Sprint volume's been. Sprint volume, not necessarily, but sprint intensity has been a little bit lower just because I've been destroying my legs lately. So just doing what I can. Trying to get into a little gymnastics. My daughter started taking gymnastics, so she wanted me to start doing handstands and cartwheels and stuff with her. So this is, I think, my second day doing it. So here are my handstands. Definitely lacking some shoulder and wrist mobility. So working on that. And then here are the cartwheels, just frolicking. That's what I do now as an old man in training. I frolic. So my daughter can do cartwheels with me. Just trying to be engaged with the stuff that she's into and that she likes. So she's really into gymnastics right now and really trying to perfect her cartwheel. So I told her I would do it here. Put the Christmas tree up. Yes, it's early in November, but it was just time. Got a 7-year-old and a 4-year-old. We just couldn't listen to the complaining anymore of let's put up the Christmas tree. So here's a little family clips for you. As always, if you like these videos, hit the thumbs up, leave a comment.